start doing some Factorio. Oh. And these spiders. Gosh, there's rampant AI, man. Really, I'm just on such a plastic crunch right now. And there's no way it's getting done by NAFTA. Really? Oh, wow, I chewed through that very quickly. Well, then how much of the solid stuff do I have? It's a decent chunk. I thought one of these... Oh yeah, steam cracker and this thing. They know to attack over here at the machine turret ones, not the lasers. I think I can use the steam from over here. Especially with it actually... Oh no, that's not the right spot. Blowing it up. We are going to be able to use it. At least I'm getting some of the lasers replenished. guess that thing needs to be refreshed from time to time. I would have kind of preferred it just update itself. Ooh, that's not gonna work. But it's none on the top. Oh. Oh, it just is in barely the wrong spot. Oh, that should enable the whole thing. Don't quite see him flying yet, though. Oh, there they are, coming in from the north. Look at this worm. Oh, they need to charge. Come on. So most of this should be I guess turning into solid fuel. Even though if I recall some of it, I thought some of it somehow turned into plastic. Maybe I wasn't doing that yet. I mean, solid fuel's pretty much good enough for that synth gas. Inventory. Ooh, that's not good. Train. So on trains, you want to do like the main thing is on the intersections. So basically, any intersection, you want to have a chain signal in and a regular signal out. In all directions. So right now, just out of simplicity's sake for setting it up, I was just doing single lane instead of the double lane stuff. And if you notice, I'm putting my signals on the right hand side. So a train would be coming along this way. And you got a chain signal in. And it can go two different ways, but both ways has the regular signal out of the intersection. And if you follow that sort of mantra the entire way, you basically can't go wrong. You can get into all kinds of complications of intersections and everything, and if you just chain signal in, chain signal through, and chain signal, and then regular signal out, it works out. And that's for the double lanes, for single lanes, for up to 6 lanes. Even you get just way complicated with it. Yeah, I guess this intersection here is probably the easiest way to explain, or to see it in action, right? That train just went along, chain signal in, regular rail signal out, and the other sides of the intersection have the same way. So if it was coming backwards, chain signal in, regular signal out. And say if we actually had this as a functional intersection up here, we would just plop down a chain signal and a regular signal there, and then replace this one with the chain signal. So that way you got chain signal in, chain signal through, and regular signal out in all directions. So the no path thing, that usually happens because in my case I've experienced that usually happening because there's just somewhere along the line there's like one spot missing, or perhaps if you're trying to do a more complicated thing and you've got one of these signals wrong. Let's just make sure this isn't actually going. Yeah, they should survive that. So say if I'm using the single lane, are you doing single lane or double lane? Because that kind of helps illuminate the way you ought to do it. If you're doing single lane stuff where the train goes both ways on the same track, you gotta have at every single signal, you gotta have these on both sides. Otherwise the trains are not going to be allowed to go along those paths in a certain direction. And so it'll do a no path error on you when you're trying to automate it. Really, I don't know if there's a way you could screenshot what you're looking at. Well, shoot. Usually these things are kind of extensive. It's gonna be difficult to actually unintentionally take a screenshot of the part that's actually giving you trouble. But generally, if you follow that advice that I gave, you will probably do away with any no path issues you had, because like if you start out on your route, and so you got your, I guess we'll use here as an example, you got your station, and then at whatever train length you're using, you set up somewhere beyond the train length, you set up a rail signal, a regular rail signal for the exit, quote unquote, the exit to the station is where they exit going around into the station. And then or I suppose you call that the entrance, right? So when a train enters the station, they exit from regular flow of traffic, and they enter into the section that is the station. And so when you leave the station, chain signal in to traffic. Then whenever they come to an intersection here, they chain signal through, and then they get out into the area where you're only going to have one train throughout the whole thing, so it's a regular signal out. And if you do that all the way, you're probably, if you do that all the way, you're not going to have a no path issue unless there's literally a segment missing. But yeah, a single lane, you gotta have them on both sides. Otherwise, it is literally going to stop you. The reason why this one's no path in here is because the biters took over. They took over the outpost. See, that's where I've had to cut it off. I'm gonna have to get this thing back at some point in time because it's where my coal comes from. But I got a little bit of a buffer here. Rampant AI is tough, man. See, look, they're already doing this down here. A spot where I haven't been able to upgrade the lasers yet. I hope it helps, man. I mean, if you can test it out, and if you have any questions on, trying to clarify a point or something, but I just adhere to that really simple basic system, and it works in all cases. Now there's ways you can do it in a more efficient manner, But I tell you what, having it functional is so much better than, you know, just it not working, right? Oh wow, I think I finally got this. No, there's some more down this way, aren't there? Nearly there to full laser upgrade on this side. There's some of these gun turrets that I'm picking up that have had hundreds and hundreds of kills. I think I just went through this little swath of them. Let's go see. Yeah, I guess I took them all up. There were some. Look at it. Some of these are already up to almost 200. So dark. It's part of the problem with playing with more challenging Vider AI is that I don't really have the resources to put lights around. Okay, I'm so short on plastic. Oh, steel plate this go around. Okay. Let's see if I can improve that some. Ooh, power's out. I can't get my radar in. Oh yeah, I guess probably the issue is I just need more iron ore floating through. Which I've been primarily getting from sapphirite right now. Which is processing slowly. Because it can't get rid of the sulfuric wastewater. Because it can't get rid of the... Oh my goodness, that's a lot of sulfur. Oh, shoot. Oh, there's not a good place for this. It at least has it functional, but it's gonna happen again. Oh, this is such an old setup. Before I had loaders or, look at this, even medium power poles. I think it's doing as best as it can, roughly in the, considering the power issues we have. Oh, that's rough. They're gonna get it done though, I think. Actually, you know, if you Colonel Will, if you've heard of Colonel Will, he does an excellent explanation of the way trains ought to go. He gets um, a little more thorough explanation of what's going on. It's not a simple, straightforward thing like I've explained. He'll actually tell you why is going on, and I think he concentrates more on the dual lanes. I'll see if I can find a link for you.
Hello, welcome to the Factorio train tutorial. My name is Zedith and I'm joined here with Colonel Will.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about all things trains.
Yeah, no, I think he'll give you a very thorough explanation of what's going on there. And I know it's an older version, but I believe everything still applies. And there hasn't been any significant changes to the train mechanics as far as placing signals and stuff. And honestly, the vanilla train mechanics are quite sufficient now. Like they used to, you used to really need like smart trains or something, but now vanilla train mechanics are all you need. I suppose unless you're doing some really complicated stuff where there's probably some simplification in like chain stationing, but that's like way out of there. Oh no, dude. No, the curved rail thing, I'll have to disagree with you there. This is freaking awesome. Like you really you can make a station. Let me try to find some space to demonstrate this. Especially once you get to the point that you have robots flying around. If you have a personal roboport. Oh, where am I gonna do this at? Speaking of which, my bots need to get down there and save that in. You know, I think I can demonstrate it right over here. So like you make your station. And look at that, it just routed all the way along up there a path, even through the solar field. And if you have the bots and everything, they'll come over here, they're placing the rail, they're chopping down the trees. Before having to figure out where to put the curved rail along there, it was just so tedious. But now you can have them ghost planner out the whole thing, and that, like, you have to go thousands of tiles before it decides you've gone too far. But yeah, let's see if they yeah, they didn't quite break into the base because of my bots. There's a lot going down on that corner though. So you could imagine with a personal roboport running along out into the middle of nowhere, making this path. You know, the bots in your own personal roboport are much more responsive. But yeah, for me to, before they had this in here, for me to figure out exactly where I need to start this turn, how many straight things along the way, and then where to turn in just there, and then take out the trees and everything, like, that would have been complete tedium. It would have taken probably about as long as the whole construction happened, with the bots coming from way over there. I mean, all you have to do is shift click instead of regular click. It's not hardly any change at all. So, like, the way I built each of these stations out here, like these independent outposts, is I went out there and I built the first section of rail, put the station on it, and then shift clicked, ran all the way down here to where I wanted to go, and then let it go, and it ghost plannered the whole length of this, and then deconstruction plannered the trees all along the way, everything. And all I had to do was run along and let the bots do it. I'm trying over there again. I really need to get the probably more steel or something going. Let me see what that is. Oh, that's just silly. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, pre-bot and then post-bot. So here we go. I think, was the solder all that's needed? Place where it actually gets picked up into the network is up here. It's going to take a moment anyway. Oh, I don't know the thing. A lot of red dots. Look at it, they back off. The rampant AI, they back off when they start getting hit. They group up larger. Alright, let's see if basic electronic boards sort themselves out. Then it'll probably go back to us needing steel. But a lot of that has to do with power issues, which I now have modules for. Whoops. I mean, on the 10-minute scale, lasers, can't do much about. Charging ports, can't do much about. Robochests, I don't think I can do much about there either. But these assembly machines, just at idle, are taking up so much power. So our first round of modules are going to that. Oh, this crushed stone is backed up. Oh, that's probably a power issue. I have that balancing between steel and iron. And that section's doing much better against them. Yeah, before we start doing accumulators, we'll tech up a little bit. Probably don't really have the batteries anyway. Yep. There's lead. It's the old lead path. Let's do it this way. Upgrading out of spaghetti. It's gonna take some time still though. I wonder if I can just extend this here. wonder why that thing needs to be refreshed occasionally. Oh, this one's done already, isn't it? Oh, where was the spot? Oh yeah, one whole belt eliminated. Oh, I guess that doesn't work, huh? Alright guys, I think we'll be back later. Thanks for watching.